Hey guys, this is me. I'm back on a science street, and in this video I'm going to be shooting a tutorial on how to make this guy. I'm actually suffocating a little bit. I need to take this off. Okay, so this one's a samurai helmet, and I try to be all sneaky in the intro, but I think my horn got on the camera frame. Anyway, so today I'll be showing you guys how to make this. This is going to be the part 1 because it took a long while, so I divided it into 2 parts, and in the first part we're going to be making the real helmet itself, and in the second part we will do a simple trick on how you can customize your own face mask. So yeah, here's the real samurai helmet itself. It's got the horns as design, a cap looking thing around head like a beanie, and some more design, and the side panels to protect your side of the face. And this thing fits perfectly for me. You can size it up to anything while you create it, and this is how it looks when I put it on. So it's got, you can adjust this a little bit as well to make it look more real. So there's a 360 view, and I really wanted to make this because I currently have 3 of these katana blades, and yeah, I wanted something to complement my 3 blades. Now, what better thing to make than a samurai helmet than to complement some katanas? Okay, they're about to fall. So that's that, and here's what you'll find in the second episode. Hope you're excited for that as well. So yeah, let's get right into the tutorial on making this thing without any further ado. Hey guys, this is me. I'm back on a science street, and today I'm going to be shooting a video on how to make an easy paper semi-realistic samurai helmet. Now, this project I took on is something I wanted to do for a really long time, because I don't know if you know it, but I'm a really big samurai sort of fan. I've got a new sword which I've already showcased this one on my channel before, but this is a new one, a wooden sword I made. So to complement it, of course, we're gonna need a helmet. Now, a samurai helmet is pretty complex. I've made a lot of paper masks, but this has to be one of the toughest ones. So there's gonna be 4 parts. I'll divide it into 4 parts to make it simpler for you all, and the 4 parts are gonna require 4 different A4 papers. So let's put the extra ones aside. We have the first A4, which we're gonna use to make the real helmet, like the cap portion, the round part at the top. So just 1 A4 for that, and since it's not gonna be big enough, I'll use some white A4 to make it stronger. So that's that. Now after that, we are going to need the side protection covers, like the side plates to protect your ears and back of the neck as well. So here's that. And after that, we are going to require some decorative items like the horns, sort of horns, and the cap aesthetic. So for that, we're going to use a separate piece of paper. Now that's 3 A4 paper till now, and finally we have the 4th and final, which we're going to use to make the main mask that covers our nose and mouth. So if you've watched my channel for a long time, I think you know I've made something like this before, the Japanese Oni mask, a demon mask. And yeah, we're going to use the same principle to make this one, but it's going to be much easier than that mask because we will just cover the part below the eyes. So this is going to be for the Oni mask replica. So in total we have 4 A4 papers. Let's ignore this one. Okay, there you go, 4 A4 papers, and along with that we will require some normal stationery items. So let's start with the main helmet, which we're gonna use 1 red A4 for, along with some white A4 to make it strong, as I mentioned earlier. So this one is going to be the hardest part compared to the rest 3 parts, because we all have different head shapes, and head is also pretty large, so it's gonna be pretty tough to make a large thing out of just A4 papers. But to make things simpler, all you need to do is take an A4 paper, press it against your head, give it that sort of like a head shape, and then yeah, tape it. So let me quickly do that off camera. Alright, so if you didn't understand what I meant, this is simply what I was trying to say, like put an A4 against your head and then make 2 replicas of your head, and then we will put it in a cross position like this, and you have sort of like a hemispherical shape, which you need to make it as circular as possible. So put it against your head again and then squish them until they look pretty curvy, like this. It's the same thing, but yeah. So once you do this, you just need to put tapes on it so it doesn't open up. Now I'll do that off camera as well. So you just need to put this on your head and tape it where the folds are. So yeah, let's do it. And just like that, you have the base of the helmet ready. So this is my head, kind of. So this is still pretty small, but we're gonna make it smaller because these horny, these spiky parts, we don't need them. So let's cut them off. Okay, one more. Okay, there it is. So this one looks pretty much like a ball. I could put like this guy in there. You can see it swivels around there pretty well. So that is the base of our helmet ready. If you're too lazy to do this, then you can have someone else do this, or use a mirror, or maybe just use a real cap and then cover it with red A4 layer on. So once this is done, let me quickly test it. Okay, this fits perfectly. It would be wiser to use a bigger helmet because bigger is better in terms of helmets. Okay, next up I think we will just put the red on it immediately, maybe. Or should we extend it a bit more? Okay, let's see. I think we're fine. Let's use some red A4s. Now, what you want to do next is use a bunch of these strips like these to tape across it, all in the kind of like an asterisk shape, like this, all across. So I'll quickly do that and see you when it's done. Okay, so I've taped all, I staplered all of those straps in there, and it looks sort of like this. It's not entirely ugly. Actually, without the bottom strap, it looked kind of like a real cool hat. White and red matches a lot. Golden and black and white and red are like pretty complementary colors without using the rule of thirds, because black and white are not in the color spectrum. Anyways, the color wheel. So once we have the step 1 done, you are basically ready to just attach all the cool gizmos and attachments all along this without worrying about the structure anymore, because your foundation is pretty much complete. Actually, it's completed. So let's move on to the side plates that cover your parts, like ears. So for that, we're gonna fold our A4 in half, cut it off, cut it in half as well. The sun is too bright outside right now, so I have my curtains down, but I think it looks kind of weird with the curtains down. This is probably the first video with the curtains down. So we have 2 of these, right? Now what we're gonna do is, wait, do they cover the back as well? I think they do. So maybe something like this will do. Or maybe this. Okay, so we will do this. We're going to take the two halves we just cut off like 2 seconds ago, and then stick them on top of each other, making slight curve like that, like this. So slight what's it called, slight slant, like they're not exactly parallel to each other, but making like about 25 degrees of angle, maybe 30. So once that's done, you just need to staple it. I think I need to tell you guys to use the stapler from this angle, so the pointy bits are facing outwards instead of inwards, otherwise, you know, common sense, you're gonna die. Anyways, so once this is done, we are going to add our first designs. So I think we'll just add sort of like a bunch of plates in there, nothing too special because this is just a tutorial, something like that, and some screws sort of. So yeah, I'll add these screws all along the lines and I'll see when it's done. Nothing too fancy, so I did these. I think I said screws, I meant to say holes, because of course there are no screws in a samurai helmet. There's gonna be holes and they're gonna put like ropes to tighten them together. So that's done. Now next up, let's use our tape on the back. Now I want you guys to figure out which part suits you the best. By that I mean, okay, either this is gonna be your front or this is gonna be your front. I want you guys to figure that out. I think I'll do this as my front, like there's the front. So if that's the case, I'll need to tape this on the back part like this. So if this is the front, this strap is going to be the back strap. Now I'll attach this guy to the back strap right there. Now I want it to be floating instead of like completely stuck in there, so that is exactly what I'm going to do now. For that, you're going to need a piece of tape. Stick it in there with one side out, not sticking anywhere, and I will use some more tape. Oops, shook the camera right there. And some more tape like this, making a cross, which I'll stick in the back end of our helmet. Oh, god damn it. Okay, there it is. So I'll make sure it's perfectly stuck in there. Now I'll do the same on this side, wrapping around the whole thing. Now this time I'm going to do it from the inside, because doing it from the outside is quite a hurdle. There's one. I'll reinforce the first one, and we are going to have the second one. Let's do this side next. Here's the second one. Okay, this one's a problem right there. Now I'll reinforce it with some more tape. I'll stick it all around the helmet and I'll see when it's done. Okay, there it is. I did a total of 5 tapings all across the mask right there. Some of them are coming apart, so I'll do some extra taping like this from both sides, inside and out. Also, make sure to put some diagonal tapes like this across the edges so it doesn't bend on you while you're wearing it. And I've already looked at the mirror wearing this, and it's actually pretty cool. So if you've made this along with me, then I think you should be impressed by now already of how this is turning out. And I figured out that my ears are along these ends, so right below where your ears are, like my ears are right there, so right below there, I want you guys to do like a tape fold, which is a 45-degree kind of fold like this. You see? So it forms like a spike in there. Now I want you to do that. This is just an optional thing, you don't really need to do this, but if you do this, the side plates like give a look more aesthetic like that. It looks more curved and more flattened out, which is more accurate to the real thing. So I'll do it on this side as well, because my ears are somewhere right there. Now once that is done, we are ready to move on to the next phase, which is probably the most fun part, because we get to do some aesthetic designs. Now let's see, we need a cap next. So for a cap, I'm gonna guess we're gonna need somewhat like this big of a piece of paper, like probably this big, and then we'll tape it right there. Like, do you get what I mean? So yeah, for that what we're gonna do is mark our helmet circumference. It's more like an arc right there, so my cap's gotta be that kind of thing. So let me do some quick calculations. If it's this big, we will need we want it to go a bit down, so probably a bit more longer. A piece coming out from there, and like a cap kind of feature. I don't know how a cap looks suddenly. I've forgotten everything. That's embarrassing. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna go for these kind of aesthetic right there. Why do I keep saying that word? I'm hooked. Okay, so I'll cut it out and show you what I mean. So like a curve, sort of like a parabola effect right there, you know. And then we have to slice something like this. So once you have this kind of shape ready, then I think you are good to go for a cap. So next what we're gonna do is, I think you saw this mark right here. Now this is where we're gonna attach it to the main thing. Now I want you all to cut this end up to the mark like this, all across until you reach the end, like such. So after that, I want you to fold these things we just cut right now on the upward direction like that, like this, so it forms sort of like flaps. And then I will take my helmet and I'll simply stick it in there like this. Maybe this is too big. I think this is too big. Yes, I'll size it up and I will tape it all across the helmet like this. So this flap gets stuck on that helmet part. This gets there, this gets there, all across the helmet. Like that. Pretty cool. So I'll make this smaller and I'll see you when it's done. So there it is, the cap is attached in there, in the helmet, and I gotta say it looks kinda weird right now. Once the cap is there, it looks a bit goofy, so that's a bummer. But we can fix that with a bit of more cool aesthetic features. But once this is done, we just basically need to move on to some more designing, of course. So let's attach some flaps on this side as well, on the sides. For that you will need a small piece of A4 like this big, and then fold it in half like this big, and then we will do some design right there, maybe like something intimidating like an eye. Maybe that. you know, like the Kokushibo's blade, the Kyoko Kamusari from Demon Slayer. Maybe that may be a spoiler because it's from the manga. So there's the eyes. Let's do some nerves as well. And this side as well, the same thing. So we will attach these on either side of our helmet right there, like right below the cap. Maybe a bit more curved than this, like that. Cool. So we have those down. Now the only last design we need to do is the horns. So for the horns, let's use some white A4 paper. Actually, I have a better idea. Yeah, let's do a full-on white horn like this. You just take a piece of A4 paper, roll it down like this. Then you have a cylinder. You tape the cylinder. Now you have a taped cylinder, and you fold it right there and right there, and it looks like a horn. Basically, I think so. And give it a spiky tip, and then you do have a horn right there. So you can attach this guy right in above the cap like this. So there's the horn. Now I'm quite not satisfied with just a simple white thingy, so I'll do a few more designing. So this all depends on your creative brain. You can do whatever you like. I'll use some inspo from movies or animes. I'll do mine, and I'll see when mine is done. So I went with sort of like Hellboy plus the witch girl. I forgot her name from a different movie. Is it Annabelle? No, of course it's not. Anyway, so I mixed two different kinds of horns to make my own kind of like a weird looking legs, like frog legs. Can you see that? Anyway, so this is my horn design. You can use whatever. And there's the side plates. Now this is pretty much the helmet ready, unless you want to make the Oni mask as well. For that, I think I'll make a separate video since this one's long enough. So yeah, here's the helmet, and I'll take you out the camera right now. Now this is how the helmet turned out. Pretty cool, pretty awesome. So I'll do the mask, which goes down here, in the next video, and I'll see you in that video, I guess. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you got some inspiration to do paper crafts, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment me down below what should I do next in my next video, and share my videos. Thank you, bye bye.